Hello and welcome to Daily Politics, reaching you live from Trust TV here in Abuja. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy, and governance. My name is Suleiman. Recall that the National Assembly rejected all women-related bills, including the one seeking to give some slots to women in the federal and state legislative houses. This has stirred controversy over discrimination against women. The gender bills rejected made some Nigerian women to protest at the National Assembly and calling for reconsideration of the gender bills, such as that which seeks to make women to have opportunities to represent their parties at the highest level. The protesters condemned lawmakers for voting against proposed gender bills, saying the action will deny women the opportunity of inclusion and representation in governance. In preparation to the 26th National Convention of the ruling APC, which may or may not hold due to the pending court order, the APC has commenced the sale of forms to aspirants contesting for various offices. Indeed, we're aware that many people, probably all of them men, have obtained their forms for the office of National Chairman of the APC. Meanwhile, the NEC has approved the PDP electoral guidelines for the conduct of primary elections, as well as timetable and schedule of activities for its 2023 general elections. Barring any dramatic twist, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has concluded plans to hold its presidential primaries for the 2023 poll in May 28, 2022. So tonight we ask, where are the women politicians in 2023? Is Nigerian politics anti-women? If women can vote, why should they not be voted for? With me in the studio to discuss all of these issues is Honorable Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, who is a leading APC member and indeed a stakeholder of the party and a contender for the National Deputy Women Leader of the party. You're most welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. But before we jump into it, we'll take a minute and then when we return, we'll be right here for you. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV, and we're discussing issues around women's participation in 2023 elections. Women in Nigeria constitute half of the voters, and previous experience as well as research has shown that Nigerian women are quite interested and quite active in terms of voting. They troop out during election days and wait in line in the sun and in the rain to vote. But when it comes to voting for, when it comes to standing in elections, women tend to disappear. So today we're asking why, and what can we all as a country do about it? Stay with us. Haja, as we were saying earlier, just before the program starts, we have many, the 2023 election is looking clearer by the day.
Very well.
You know, the APC convention is finally going to hold, pending whatever happens in the court, right?
Yes.
And many people are already picking up their forms to be this or that within the party.
Exactly.
But the PDP are even ahead already,
Yes.
because they have done their convention, and they are already selling forms for the primaries, including that of. But so far, there have been, few women, going for the national offices. What's happening?
Thank you for having me. And I want to clearly state here that the discrimination, it's so high that women do no longer have confidence in the system. Yes, some women in themselves, and then in the politics generally, because we are highly discriminated upon. Yes, they see politics as a male business. Yes, and then it takes a lot of courage for a woman to even come out to say she wants to take part in politics. There's this, traditional, religious, and societal impediments, exactly, that makes the woman always at the back seat when it comes to issues, especially politics. When we were growing up, very, very few women were into politics, because traditionally, especially in the northern part of this country, yes, and in so many parts of the country, women are supposed to be at home, taking care of the home front, and so were not allowed to come out to take part in politics. And so this is what is still happening. But civilization, education, and other factors are changing that narratives. But we still have a very, very long way to go. But we are still pushing. We won't relent. Yes, we won't.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I wonder what the men will say when you say you will not relent, because when a woman says,
we will never give up.
Women say they will not relent,
it
tends to scare men, isn't it?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I want the men to see us as partners in progress. We are never rivals. No. We can't rival our men. No, but they should have us by their side when it comes to issues of national development that concerns us. I want to tell you that the population of this country has more women than men. So how can you discuss, make policies that affects women, and then you are leaving women behind? They should see us as partners in progress. Yes.
So some people are saying part of the problem is that women want to gain advantage that will not be available to men, and that itself will become discrimination. For example, when you want some seats allocated to women only, if you have those seats, that means that men will not contest those seats, because they're specific to women. So some people are saying that, you cannot solve one discrimination problem by replacing it with another discrimination problem.
No, that is not true, because as I earlier mentioned, it is seen as a male business. And so we are now trying to have more women into the system, because we are partners in progress. We go to the same school, go to the same hospital, go to the same market, go to the same business area, everything. There is nowhere you go to and find only men doing it. We do it together. And so we should be involved in national building, decision making, and everything that concerns both men and women. And I want to tell you that women are bridge builders. We are mothers. We handle family better than men. And the society is made up of family. It's a bigger family cycle. Yes. The men have where they should be focused at when it comes to war, other things that requires muscles and physical strength. But intellectual issues, women tend to have more capacity, I want to tell you, than men. Yes, things like decision making, because we have empathy. Yes, we are softer in nature than men. And so I think there's nothing like discrimination. This business has already been a male business.
Yes.
And so to bring in women, you need to devise some soft landings. Yes, for them. Yes. And so if some certain percentage of seats are allocated to women, it's being empathetical.
Okay.
It's not being discriminating against any male or something. Already they have the majority.
Okay.
So just give us some few so that we are not seen as enemies. We are not seen as people who compete against each other. If you allocate some percentage to the women, we won't look at your side.
Okay.
Are you getting me? We say when all we are saying is equity.
Okay.
Yes.
Not equality?
No.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes. When we are advocating for less than 50%.
Okay.
Does that indicate equality?
No.
So that is equity. Yes. There are places where we'll say, let's have 50-50.
Okay.
But when it comes to politics, we're saying just give us 35% and you take the rest. That is not equality. We're talking about equity. When you are equitable, there will be no fight. Yes, there will be no fight. So that is what we are saying.
In practical application, let us say that this additional 35% seats.
Yeah.
So in the Senate, that will amount to, say, maybe 25 or, 19, 20, 21 seats in the, actually almost 30 plus seats, you know, 31, 33 seats, in fact.
Yeah.
You know. So if you have these 33 seats, you know, in the Senate, you know, how are you going to allocate them across the states? Because, you know, in Nigeria, we have 36 states. And then each state already has 3 senators.
Yes.
So for the Senate, how are we going to divide this up?
It's just going to be for 3 senatorial zones, you give 1 to women.
Okay.
Yes, that is just the calculation. Every state has 3 senatorial zones.
Okay.
You give 1 to women. And then the women compete for that 1. And the allocation will be made by the men themselves. Yes.
So, but what this now brings the issue of, that's an interesting formula, you know, because it solves a lot of problems. You know, and then the women can compete against themselves for the 1 slot that they have in each state.
Yes.
You know, that's interesting. But what about the constituencies, the senatorial districts now? What if, for example, we say that are they going to be exchanging them? That, okay, this seat this year for women, the next one for men, you know, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Or how is it going to work out?
That is another method.
Okay.
And it's is the easiest and the simplest. This time, a northern zone for women. Next time, southern zone for women. Okay. Another time, central zone for women. Okay. And then it rotates.
That's interesting. But then some people are saying, if you want that, then you don't need to change the constitution or make any legislations. You just need to change the political parties who produce the candidates in the first place, you know. And as a member of the ruling APC yourself, how much has this argument taken hold within your party?
The APC is made up of men who have blood running in them.
That's serious.
Yes, who feel the superiority of men in them. Okay. And this is a global issue. I want to tell you that if there is no legislation on that, it will not be achieved. Okay. Because I can remember last year we were at the Senate advocating for the 35% affirmative, gender affirmative action. Can you believe that a senator looked at us and asked us, is it his seat
that you want to
that
take,
we want him, yes, to vacate for
to
us.
give up.
So it is natural.
Yeah.
But when there's legislation, if it is backed up by legislation, the Constitution backs it up, you don't have any other option than to do it. And it will be easier, it will be easily done, because this time, this zone is for women, next time the other zone, next time another zone. And so nobody will feel that his zone is constantly meant for women. Are you getting me?
Yes.
And then the women will be exchanging too, from one political zone to the other, one political zone to the other. And then that makes it easy for all of us.
Thank
Yes.
you. So maybe from these general issues, let's go down to the specific issues now. For example, specific offices being contested.
Okay.
So far, we see that the office of the national chairman has been zoned to the northwest.
Exactly.
I mean, north central.
North central.
Other offices have been zoned to the
Other
other
zones.
parts of the country,
Yes.
within the APC.
Within the
we're
APC.
saying. But you see Senator and former governor of Nasarawa State, Al-Makura, Senator and former governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Adamu. Also, you have people like Senator and former governor of Benue State, George Akume, Saliu Mustafa,
yes.
Sani Musa,
Musa,
and a few others.
313, yes.
313. So all of them have picked up their nominations
forms,
paying 20 million naira,
yes.
to get there.
Yes.
Why is it that we haven't seen a woman want to be national chairman of the party? Is it that a woman cannot do that job?
No.
Okay.
Part of the reasons why we have few women participating in politics is economic reason.
Okay.
Yes. And the last Progressive Women Congress that our party held came up with a communique with wonderful ways that women can participate more in politics. One of the ways is creating a trust fund.
Okay.
Yes, for capable women, to support capable women who want to vie for offices but are financially handicapped. I want to tell you that one of the reasons we see that women are lagging behind in politics is finance.
Interesting.
Finance.
Okay.
The Nigerian politics is so financially,
centered.
Exactly, that it scares even some men. That is what they used to separate between the boys and the men.
Absolutely.
So when do you have the women in it? I just picked my nomination form to contest for the position of the Deputy National Chairman. It cost a fortune.
How much did it cost?
This is 1,250,000.
Okay.
Yes. Although we are given 50%,
okay,
rebates on it. But how many women can afford this? No
So
matter how capable they are.
So if a man wanted to contest the same, okay, a man cannot even contest.
No, a man cannot contest for, but the offices in the same category for men is 2.5 million.
It's 2.5 million.
Yes.
That's interesting.
I got mine for 1,250,000.
Okay.
How many women can contest this, especially from the grassroots?
That's true.
So finance is a major problem, impediment for women in politics.
Thank you. So if you had the trust fund, for example, the support for the trust fund.
Exactly.
And as a candidate, as a politician, with supporters, within the party and back with your constituency at the grassroots levels, and who is able to campaign to bring in other people to share your views. Would you, if you had the trust fund to support you, say maybe 5 million that you can draw from, or even 20 million that you can draw from, would you contest for another office other than this?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yes, I would have gone for something higher. A higher office. Yes, it's not easy for a woman to dish out such amount.
Absolutely.
Now, if they see a woman dishing out 20 million naira, I think they will send EFCC after her. You understand?
But they will not do to
They will
the
not
men?
do to the men.
Is that discrimination itself?
It's a very big discrimination.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So financially, they are stopping women from participating in politics. Yes. But with the trust fund, there will be a method of identifying those with capacity, not just every woman. You know,
Yes.
The membership of the caucus group will include almost every state. They will have members that will identify capable women who cannot afford to support themselves financially and then support them. Yes.
So that's interesting, particularly the 1.25 million that you paid for this, you know. So, but it's a position that is available or open to only women.
Yes.
You know, but why not a position that is open to everyone? Do you think your chances of winning that post would have been less if you had gone for a post that is open to all, everyone? For example, Deputy National Leader North or something like that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because we have the zoning formula. Yes. The position of the Deputy National Women Leader is zoned to my
to
zone.
Your,
yes,
okay, that's
which
the
is
Northeast.
the Northeast, exactly.
Okay.
And then I really want to see how I can have more women, yes, in politics. And I feel that with this position of the National Women Leader or the Deputy National Women Leader, you will make more impact on women than if you had gone for any other position. And then no, because I want to tell you that there are so many men scrambling for other positions apart from this one.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
And so I would have gone for other positions if this one was not zoned to my place. Very well, I would have gone. I have the capacity to even contest for the national chairmanship.
Interesting.
Yes.
And maybe for APC, it's high time the APC has as a woman, you know, as a bridge builder, as national chairman. Would you say?
We will come to that.
Okay.
Yes, we'll come to that.
Okay.
Time will get us to that. Yes, because we have started all the processes. The Progressive National Women Conference that was organized and held by the Progressive Women Wing of the party has kickstarted this process that a woman can go up to the highest position of the national chairman. Yes, God's willing.
Thank you. So we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
before
very
then, yeah, the other issues are there.
Okay.
You know, picking up the nomination form, which, as you rightly noted, is not easy in itself because it's expensive. You know, but also the actual campaign. You know, how does that affect a woman's chances in terms of going maybe door to door, or calling phone numbers, or meeting various caucuses and various groups and various pressure groups within the APC, because the APC is not monolithic. It has many different groups within it, and each group has its own leaders and its own members and so on. And if you want to be their leader, you have to speak to all of this. So how does this work for a lady in ways that are different for the man?
First of all, the finance.
Okay.
Yes, the finance. It is. It's so huge. Yes, logistics. Yes, publicity. The door-to-door mobilization and meeting various groups requires a lot of finance, and sometimes when you meet people, you have to give them transport, you have to feed some of them, you yourself, you have to travel to where people are. Finance is the first, problem that a woman faces, when carrying on such.
But when you meet men to talk to them, because even the party membership is largely men still. the people who are women vote, but they don't collect cards to be members of political parties the way men do.
Yes.
So you have to speak to these
men. Yes.
Do they welcome you? Do they take you serious and what you have to say serious, or do they say, okay, this is for women leader only, therefore there is no issue there to... How does that work out culturally within the political parties?
Sometimes it depends on how you present yourself as a woman.
Yes.
Yes, because I don't limit myself to just gender activity in the party.
Okay.
No. I always tell the men that I am just being pro-gender because I want more women to come into politics. But I am not limited to just being a female politician. No, I am a stakeholder in APC. And so I can do whatever a man can do when it comes to politics. Yes, I have the capacity. I have more capacity than some men. They know me. Yes, they know it.
No.
And
but
it's
do
not
they
just
accept it as such? Because it's one thing to have capacity, it's another to have your capacity recognized by other people.
It's so difficult, but that is part of politics itself, convincing people. Yes, it's part of politics. Sometimes you are able to convince them, and sometimes they will not. They will tell you, they will show you they are men. It's a man's world. But by and large, we are gradually getting there. Yes.
So do you have other contestants, either other women contestants for this position within the party? Or
when I picked my nomination form, I was the only one.
Okay,
but
so far.
Yes, so far. Yes, I don't know whether someone has picked it after me, but as at the time I picked mine, I was the first person. Yes, and I want to tell you that however it comes, I am ready. Yes.
Because what the broader question there is when women campaign against other men. Other women. Some people in these areas have said that, okay, when women campaign against other women, it tends to be like two women fighting as well. That they tend to be harsher against each other. That they want to, bring each other down worse than they would have if they were campaigning against a man, for example. That's why I was...
Not true.
Okay.
Not true, not true, not true. I want to tell you that all what we've been seeing is men campaigning against men.
Okay.
Yes, we have few instances where women face women, and we are more enlightened now, yes, than before.
Okay.
And we are better than before. So it's not true to say that women are harsher towards their fellow women than men. No. The way I will campaign against a man will be tougher than when I'm campaigning against my fellow woman.
Would that be discrimination?
No. That would be empathy.
Okay, why? How so? Because if you are tougher against the man... Okay.
Sometimes the men don't see us as women. I am telling you. If the men see us as women, they should allow us have the 35% affirmative action. But they don't see us like that. They would want to tell us that they are the men. And then we will stand against that and compete with them. So if I'm facing my fellow woman, we are sisters. But when I'm facing another man, he's an opponent. Yes.
Interesting. So, but within the APC, has there been any movement by the men rather than by the women? For example, the Progressive Women Conference that you mentioned earlier, probably convened by the women within the party, trying to bring the men to understand. Okay, is there any movement by the men to say, oh, we are a party of Nigerians, and half of Nigeria is women. So within our party, let us also have a movement that embraces, more women, that promote more. Is there such a movement within the APC or even other parties that you are aware of? Oh,
no. The movement within the party by the women.
By the men?
No.
Okay.
No, the one we have by the women.
Okay.
Is well supported by the men.
By the men, okay.
Yes. So we received tremendous support by them. And I want to tell you that we have some progressive governors who have given more opportunities, more appointments for women than others, than they used to have. So I don't think there's any need for any movement outside the progressive women movement. All we need is for the men to support this very movement of the progressive women. Yes, and then we'll progress.
Interesting. We'll be going on a short break now. When we return, we'll be speaking about the practical, because you yourself have contested for the member National House of Reps before.
Exactly.
And your late sister, Senator Aisha, more popularly known then as Mama Taraba, actually contested for the executive governor.
Yes, number one
and nearly
seat.
made it to be the first. So we'll be looking into this and how these experiences shape or inform what women go through in Nigerian politics. Thank you very much for staying with us. We are discussing with Honorable Zainab Abubakar, who is a leading member of the APC and contesting for the position of National Women Leader. And maybe we can even begin to say congratulations in advance, since you are the only candidate so far.
Thank you.
But when we return, we'll continue with these discussions about what women have to go through that men don't have to within the political parties, and more especially when they go out to seek for votes of Nigerians to occupy elective offices in the country. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV, and we're discussing issues around women's participation in the 2023 elections, which, as you are aware, have already started throughout the country. Both the APC and the PDP are already concluding arrangements, or arrangements are in top gear for nominations of various offices within the party, but also across the party in the major electoral offices in the country. I have with me Honorable Zainab Abubakar, and we're discussing about what it means to be a woman politician in Nigeria. So Hajia, as we were saying, during the break, when you contested for the House of Reps seat from Taraba State, at that time, which year was it now?
2018.
2018. So
yes.
It's not, So how did it? Would your experience have been different? Would you have won the seat had you been a man, for example?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I would have, because amongst all the contenders then, I was the most popular.
Okay.
Yes, I was the most capable. Yes, and everybody knew. But no, because it wasn't meant to be.
Okay.
Yes, as a good Muslim, whatever is destined to be, will be. So I took it as part of faith. That was why I didn't make it. But I want to tell you that there was a lot of discrimination at that time.
Okay.
Yes, because some meetings were held after the large meeting. We dispersed, and then the next morning you will hear that meetings were held at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
After the meeting for everybody.
The meeting for everybody. And such meetings were organized so that women do not attend.
Particularly targeting?
Particularly targeting, yes, at women. So these are some little things that is being meted on us as women. Yes, and there was this gang up by men, yes, who do not want a woman to break their cycle. Yes, that affected me greatly. But I believe that after losing the primaries, the work I stood and did for the party, yes, said a lot about me. And
even after
yes, even after the I lost the primaries to a man. Yes, I worked for my party. Yes, and I did very well. Yes, during the elections. My local government was the second, gave Mr. President second highest votes in the country. That is Jalingo local government.
Interesting.
Yes, and I want to tell you that I was part of that success. And so that painted a different picture of how they saw me when I was contesting. And that gave me a better chance to relate better with my men politicians. Yes.
Would that help now that you are contesting for the national deputy national leader now?
Yes.
Would they remember that, okay, you did this for the party even though you lost the primaries?
Very well. I was supported by my men constituents. I got a lot of support from them. I got many people that prompted me to even go into the national politics. Yes.
Okay, so but some elections, sometimes even after elections, not sometimes, most of the times in Nigeria, after elections, the elections don't end at the ballot box or with INEC declaration of winners. Elections, you know, a large percentage of our elections go into the courts.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's either in the tribunals or the courts, and in some cases, all the way to the Supreme Court that the election is decided. For example, between 1999 to date, all the presidential elections have ended in the Supreme Court. How does this affect women? You know, are women's experiences in this case different from that of the men?
My late sister, may her soul rest in perfect peace. Senator Aisha Juma Al-Hassan Maman Taraba.
Yes.
Yes, got her first victory through the electoral tribunal.
Okay.
Yes, and being her closest person, I know what she went through. Yes, if not for the kind of person, dogged person she was, and she wouldn't have survived that. I want to tell you that number one, it entails a lot of financial spending, a whole lot, because you have to engage lawyers. At some extent, you have to engage senior advocates of Nigeria, and they don't take peanuts. Absolutely. Yes, in their cases. And then logistics, you have to bring down your witnesses. Are you getting me? Even getting the documents you need to support your case with, is a lot of problems. And then sometimes you get threats. Yes. Exactly. You get threats from your opponents to drop the case, or you get killed or something of that nature. And not every woman will have that courage, exactly, to stand all this terror, because I call it terror. Yes. And sometimes nobody supports you. Nobody supports you. You have to be on your own. Everything you needed, you have to do it yourself. And then I have seen some women drop along the way their cases because they cannot continue. And sometimes when you approach some people to help you sponsor, because of lack of confidence in women, they decline. They don't do that. Yes, I know that many politicians are being sponsored, but how many female politicians get sponsorship? That's because they don't have confidence that we can win and deliver. So whenever an election case gets to tribunal, I want to tell you that it's always frustrating for a woman because of the hurdles that are involved.
Is it even worse than the election itself?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. The election starts and ends within a short period of time. But you have cases from Electoral Tribunal, Court of Appeal, up to the Supreme Court that takes months, years to finish. And then that involves a lot of financial implication.
Yes.
And so, as I mentioned earlier, one of the major problems of women is finance in politics, is economy. And so, whenever you mention about tribunals, it becomes a whole lot of problem to all.
So, but this is a bit personal. Are we looking towards you following in the footsteps of the late Haja Aisha, maybe to go for the Senate, or even later the governor of Taraba State?
Inshallah.
Okay.
We want to lead her legacy on. Yes, by the grace of God. I remember there was a time she hugged me and told me, if I'm alive, Zainabu, you will be a senator one day, inshallah. Yeah. Yes, and so one of the things that kept me going is to want to continue her legacy. Yes, she was a dogged politician, fearless, tireless. Yes, you cannot just scare Senator Aisha Juma Al-Hassan away. It's not possible. So, by the grace of God, although her shoes are too big for me, yes, but I'll try.
Okay.
Yes.
And we wish you luck
Thank
once
you very
again.
much.
Thank you. So, the presidential elections now proper, beyond the primaries, or even beyond the national conventions,
yes.
You know, the presidential, the PDP, they are selling they have already started the sales of forms for the primaries. And according to the Electoral Act, the primaries should hold, INEC should receive or should have the list of candidates for all positions by parties in the general elections by early June.
Exactly.
So that means there's almost no time for the primaries now. So what chances do women now have within the APC where even the convention has not yet been done, let alone the to grab offices of state, from where we're coming from?
Yes, our chances are bright. Okay. The Progressive Women's Conference I told you earlier has put in place so many means, yes, to help women. They are already preparing for women who want to contest into various offices. Okay. Yes, they have asked any woman that wants to contest to submit her name to the office of the National Women Leader, and we have done so, and we believe that they will put in machineries, yes, that will help actualize that for many women. So I want to believe that we are ready. Yes.
So beyond the trust fund, which you mentioned earlier, what kinds of machineries would that entail, especially in light of the UN Women Office in Nigeria saying that they want to support women candidates to participate? How would these forms of support appear like?
As I mentioned earlier, there's a means by which capable women are identified. Okay. Yes, and then they will be. There's also a mentoring. Okay. Yes, there's mentorship program. Okay. Yes, by our topmost female politicians. yes, to those aspiring into various offices. And then there's also an institution, yes, that is being set up by the Progressive Women's Wing, yes, to get interested women, yes, to like train them on how to achieve success in elections. Yes.
Interesting. That's but we so far, you know, we both the Electoral Act, this new Electoral Act says that you can spend up to 15 billion naira to become president of Nigeria, you know, for governors up to 5 billion and so on and so forth. And already we can see indication of that, because in order to buy even the nomination form for the PDP, which is not in power, the cost for that is 40 million already.
Yes.
So probably, you know, we expect that, given by, you know, previous situations, maybe that of the APC might be 50 million or even higher than that. How does this work for women who want to go into these offices, who want to contest these positions?
We have women who are captains of industries. We have women who are business moguls in their own right. Yes, and we have women who are capable. Yes, anybody that wants to go to that office must be somebody capable. Yes, and so I believe that we have women who can pick up such responsibilities.
What about fundraising, say from Nigerians? You know, that, okay, I'm a woman candidate. Can you donate money to me? Do you think that can work?
It's part of what the Progressive Women Congress wants to achieve.
Interesting.
Yes, that's like a trust fund to support women who wants to contest into various offices but might not be capable. And even if you are capable, you might need more support. So I think the Progressive Women Wing of our party are already doing that. Yes.
Thank you. So maybe just before we round up, because we're just about rounding up now, one of the key resources for all politicians is media, you know, which gives them visibility and so on. But the relationship between women politicians and media may not be exactly the same as the relationship between male politicians and media. What has been your experience?
I will say it's another form of gender discrimination.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But I want to tell you that the Nigerian media generally is gender friendly.
Okay.
Yes, whatever program we had as women is being fully covered by almost every media house or media company we call. And then generally, I would say the Nigerian media are gender sensitive. And I will commend them for that.
Thank you. I think it's good to know that we're not doing too badly.
No, you are not doing too badly. You are gender sensitive.
Yes,
and they have been supportive in our drive towards achieving more women in both elective and selective positions. I will commend the Nigerian media for that. Yes.
Thank you. But that still on the media issue, is the people in the media are one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is people who serve as spokespersons, you know, who actually interface with the media most of the time on behalf of their candidates or on behalf of the politicians, their principals that they represent. How does this work for women? Do we have many women in these areas, or do we have men representing women in these positions?
It's a men's dominated world. Yes, we have women doing that, but the men have dominated that too. But we are working towards having more women working for women. Yes.
Rather than
men.
And then maybe even more women working for the men as well.
Yes, even for the men. Yes, we can do that too.
Thank you very much, Hajia Zainab. It's been interesting speaking with you on these issues. And we truly, truly wish you well with your contest. And we hope that maybe next time we're having you, we will not be saying contender or candidate. We will be saying the Deputy National Chairman, APC.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you also for staying with us as we go through yet another edition of Daily Politics, where we discuss issues around politics, policy, and governance. Because you come to us every evening, we try to be here for you and bring you all the issues, all the analysis, and all the insights, particularly for people whose voices have been marginalized, such as youths and women. We look forward to having you again next week on Monday, when we'll bring you another edition of Daily Politics, and we hope you too will be there for us. My name is Suleiman Suleiman. Goodbye.